mid problems or hard, difficult problems for some of you guys. Some of you guys may think it's easy, some of you guys may find it hard, and it's okay. I'm gonna try to go over number one. I'm gonna make a little space here so you guys remember a little property that we need to know. And that's a negative times a negative, positive times a negative. You know, multiplication of different symbols, you know, positives and negatives, or maybe the same symbol, like negative and negative, or positive and positive. So, looking at number one, we have negative 3 parentheses, negative 4x plus 6, plus 2, plus parentheses minus 6. So we're going to multiply the number on the outside, don't forget, parentheses mean you distribute, right? Again, parentheses means you distribute. So we are going to multiply negative 3 times negative 4. Negative 3 times negative 4. If you multiply two negatives, that ends up being a positive. Bring down the x. If you guys forget this by any chance, remember when you guys were in middle school, when you guys were in elementary, maybe, sometimes they use this little property or this little figure, you know, they use this little drawing that you guys can make. And believe it or not, it actually helps you guys out to figure out the symbol of, you know, the outcome of a negative times a negative or a negative times a positive, and, you know, vice versa. So, if you guys look at it, the first number that we have is negative 3. So just circle that negative 3. The second number that we have is also a negative 4. Just you can circle it again. So, if you circle them, that means you eliminate them. So, what symbol will be the one that's left? Positive. That way it's positive 12. So again, I'm not here to teach you guys theorems or anything, just trying to make it simple for you guys somehow, some way, so you guys can get better and do good in math. Our next thing, negative 3 times positive 2. Again, this is the most important part. Never forget to multiply with that number at the very end. Negative 3 times positive 2 ends up being negative 6. And again, if you guys have trouble, negative 3, circle them. Positive 2, circle them. The one that ends up being here, it's a negative. That's why we have to put that negative. All right. Finally, we have another minus 6 that we did not use at all, so we're just going to bring it down. And here we go to something that we already knew how to do, or something that we've done before, which is combine like term. Look for something that you can combine. So in this case, 12x. If you started, there's no one else with the variable x, so just bring it down. Here is where some of you guys will also get confused. You have a negative 6 or minus 6, and you have another one right here. All right. Some of you guys at work thinking about money. So for example, if you owe me $6, there's a minus. You owe me $6, and then you owe me $6. You know, you're gonna owe me 12. So it's a minus 12. So it is very important for you guys to understand that when you are not multiplying or dividing, if they have the same symbol, they will always combine. They will come together, they will add each other, and you're gonna respect that symbol. You're gonna stay with it. So again, when you're multiplying, you use this symbol. Again, it's only for multiplying, and you can also use it for dividing. But when you're not multiplying or dividing, what you can do is draw this, which we did previously. So it's a minus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if you look at the other one, it's also a negative 6 or a minus 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you can see, they combine, they become 1. So you have negative 12. If you guys look at this, it's positive 12x minus 12. One has a variable, one doesn't. You cannot combine them. This will be your answer. Again, super important thing to remember. You only use this when you're multiplying or dividing. And whenever you're combining, you're not multiplying or dividing, you use this. So let's go into one that's a little bit harder, a little bit difficult. For some of you guys maybe just go real quick. Some of you guys are pretty. So when we're looking at this, we have two sets of parentheses. All right, so you always start reading from left to right. Very important thing to remember later on, from left to right. So it's 4 parentheses, negative 2x plus 2, close parentheses, minus 5x minus 6, open parentheses, negative 3x minus 1, close parentheses. Again, the parentheses means that you're going to distribute. You're going to get this number that's on the outside and multiply it with everything that's on the inside. So 4 times negative 2, that ends up being negative 8x. 4 times positive 2 ends up being 8. We didn't use this guy at all. Just bring it down. Now here are some mistakes that some of you guys may do. The next set has negative 6 outside of the parentheses, and then parentheses negative 3x plus 1. When you multiply, you have to multiply with also that symbol that you guys have before that number. We did that over here. This one's a positive 4. You didn't have to write the symbol. But this guy's a negative 6. So the symbol's already there. The symbol belongs to that number. And don't forget, you're gonna multiply with both of them. Very, very, very important. So negative 6 times negative 3 ends up being positive 18x, and then negative 6 times negative 1 ends up being positive 6. Again, this is the first step, which is multiplying, which is the step that you're gonna use this particular drawing, or this particular pizza guy, as they call it on the streets. All right. So if you guys look at it, 4 times negative 2, one is positive, one is negative. Okay, one is positive, one is negative, ends up being negative 8. Again, 4 times 2, they're both positive, so it's just positive. And on the other side, negative 6 times negative 3, so negative times a negative ends up being positive, and then negative times a negative again ends up being positive as well. Again, you only use that when you're multiplying or dividing, so I'm just going to leave it there. The next step would be to combine like terms. Combine anything that looks alike, that has the same variable, or maybe if it doesn't have a variable, you can also combine it. So if we look at this, negative 8x, so we'll start reading it, right here, negative 8x. Look for anything else that has an x. Right here, negative 5x, and then right here, plus 18x. Again, the symbol in front of the number, you're gonna keep it, you're gonna use it with that number. And here is where you're gonna do either mental math, or drawing, or just regular math, or however you guys want to do it, to solve, to find out what is negative 8x, negative 5x, and positive 18x. Again, it's going to take a lot of little drawings if you're going to draw it, but I mean, you can. So just remember one thing. Negative and a negative, if you're not multiplying, they will always add, and you stay with that symbol. So negative 8 and negative 5x together make negative 13x. So these two together make negative 13x. Negative 13x, positive 18x. They're different symbols. They don't like each other. So some will be over here, some will be over here. 13 over here, 18 over here. If they were to confront each other, if they were to bump into each other, the 18 would win. Because there are more people that are positive than there are people over here that are negative. All right? So these two together end up being positive 5x. You continue reading it? 8 plus 6 together is 14. You cannot combine anything else. This is your answer.